A remote 63 square mile island in the South Pacific is home to one of the most intriguing and recent undeciphered scripts anywhere in the world. Of course, I'm referring to Easter Island and Rongorongo. Hello, my name is Christopher, and in today's video I'd like to share with you a presentation I put together last semester for my linguistic typology class. I thought the topic was so interesting that it deserved its own video on the channel. So with that, I'll disappear and present to you the mystery of Rapa Nui and Rongorongo. And this background, by the way, is the flag of Easter Island. So, Rapa Nui is the native language of Easter Island, a 63 square mile Chilean territory, as I mentioned, known for its giant statues, the moai, and its extreme remoteness in the Pacific Ocean. The island's first settlers probably arrived from southeast Polynesia around 500 AD, give or take a couple centuries, and developed a culture in relative isolation from other islands. As of 2016, just 1/8 of the population is estimated to still speak Rapa Nui, and most adults also speak Spanish, the colonial language obviously, which is taught in school. Here is a map which shows where Easter Island is located in the South Pacific Ocean. As you can see, it's relatively isolated, and that is an image of the moai, the giant statues, which I'll show in the next slide. So here is an image of the incredible stone statues for which Easter Island is probably most well known and which attracts a lot of tourists each year. And finally, this is an image of the Rapa Nui natives today on the island with what I believe is the former president of Chile in front of them. So this is just a brief typological description because the class was about typology, of course. So this is the full official ethnologue classification. I won't read it here, but it's available in case you're interested. Rapa Nui is analytic and isolating, although you don't have to know what that means, but if you do, you might be curious. In fact, even more so than other Polynesian languages on account of losing the passive suffix. Also, it's morphologically closest to Marquesian, spoken in French Polynesia, and phonologically closest to Maori, spoken in New Zealand. Moreover, Rapa Nui has a small phonemic inventory of just 10 consonants, 5 short vowels and 5 long vowels, along with a VSO word order, although the Spanish influence, interestingly, might be causing a gradual change to SVO, like we have in English. Verbs are preceded by markers to indicate aspect, mood, subordination or negation, and there is no plural distinction in second or third person pronouns, unlike other Polynesian languages. Now let's talk about the writing system, because modern Rapa Nui uses a Latin script of 20 letters introduced from the Spanish, and here is an example from the grammar I was referencing throughout the semester. But there's also Rongorongo, which is the main focus of today's video. And here is an example of the Rongorongo script. So just take that in before we dive into it in the next few slides. So Rongorongo is a system of what I think are rather beautiful glyphs discovered by explorers in the 19th century on 24 wooden objects, which are now scattered across multiple museums. None of them are actually left on the island itself, unfortunately. Some scholars believe the Rapa Nui people developed the script only after witnessing Spanish explorers writing a deed of cession in 1770, which would mean via transcultural diffusion, to borrow an anthropological term. If not, it would mean a very rare instance of an independent invention of writing. And finally, several people have attempted to decipher the script, but none of them was or were successful. So Rongorongo is written in something called reverse boustrophodon, which means alternate rows of glyphs are inscribed upside down relative to each other, going left to right, bottom to top, as you'll see in the next slide. And scribes used obsidian flakes as well as shark teeth to make the glyphs, which appear to take human, animal, plant, and geometric forms, but again, we don't really know for certain. The script's original name was Kohu Motu Mo Rongorongo, excuse my poor Rapa Nui, which means lines incised for chanting out, but eventually shortened to simply Rongorongo. Here you can see what reverse boustrophodon looks like, with the alternate rows of glyphs inscribed upside down, meaning you'd have to turn the wood 180 degrees to write the next line. But experts believe that with some of the larger artifacts, the scribes simply learned to write the glyphs upside down. So they really were quite skilled. And finally, the most interesting part, decipherment. So experts speculate that the tablets represent a lunar calendar, genealogy, navigation, astronomy, agriculture, and more, but the problem is that none of them can actually be read. And obstacles to this include a lack of text. There are only 15,000 legible glyphs. There's also a lack of context. There's no Rapa Nui Rosetta Stone. And also how modern Rapa Nui is now mixed with Tahitian, a related language from Polynesia. And since attempts in the 1950s by people from all over the world, most experts now believe that Rongorongo is a sort of non-unified ideographic mnemonic proto-writing and cannot therefore ever be fully deciphered. And here are some of the more iconic glyphs which we believe to represent various plants, a palm tree, a man standing, a seated man eating, a frigate bird, a fish, a flying fish, a crayfish, a sea turtle, a caterpillar, a centipede, a squid, and more. I really think they're quite neat. This is an image of tablet B, or Aruku Kurenga, one of the more famous specimens. And I believe the glyphs are inscribed on Pacific rosewood, if I'm not mistaken. And lastly, these are two more tablets of Rongorongo, although I couldn't find their exact letters. Still, they are wonderful examples of this reverse boustrophodon, as I hope you can see. Alright, that's all for today. Please give this video a like if you learned something, and let me know in the comments section if you think Rongorongo will ever reveal itself. What's your favourite undeciphered script? What linguistic mystery should I cover next? Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video. My sources are in the description, and as always, thank you so much for watching.